As was mentioned in the introductory video, CRM for sales was designed for sales rep by sales reps. There's been over 41 years of sales experience and knowledge that have gone into the design of this database. And because the developmental software was written by Apple Computer, it works really well. So if you will use CRM for sales as it was designed, you will market with true professionalism and follow your sales up with deadly accuracy. This has truly stood the test of time. So with that, let's go ahead and look at the basic layout. Obviously we have a place here for a photo. It posts in there very easily from your cell phone, and it is really helpful to have a picture of your client or your prospect in here. It helps you remember who you're talking to. Over here in the far left corner is all your personal information, name, phone number. The area code is listed separately, so you can search by it separately. You can go look by vendor or by customer. Phone numbers, company information, Group's important because you can have as many different databases on here as you might like. You can of course have professional database. You can have family or friend or personal database. You might have a wedding. You want to track all the people you've invited to come to the wedding. Down here is a place for emails, contact preference. Does a client prefer a telephone call? Does he listen to his voicemail? How about text message or email? Find out how they like to be or prefer to be contacted. Quick notes is a place that I always look before I pick up the telephone to see if there's something important we need to talk about right away. Maybe they're looking for a very large game-changing contract to come in at the company, or perhaps they have a son that's sick and in the hospital, and I want to be sure and ask them about that first thing when they pick up the telephone. Just a good place to make a quick note. Information sent, you want to track everything you've sent someone here. You don't want to send them the same thing twice. Status is where I'll track all my phone conversations. You click on date, today's date pops in there. You click on time, the time pops in there. I don't know if you need that or not, if you're billable hours. And then you just type in whatever your phone conversation is about, and typically I'll put in what my next step is, and then you can follow up with the next conversation on the next box, and this goes down as deep as you want to go. Priority, I just like to look at a record and see what level client it is. I have a priority system here I've laid out. You can edit this to be anything you want. I've explained what this priority labeling system is over in marketing notes. We'll get into that in another video. But if it's a top rated client or medium rated client, I want to know it just at a quick glance. If they're likely to become from a prospect to a client, they're going to give me some business sometime real soon, then I'll click it as hot. And so I'll know that. I can go up here to all these search buttons. That's what these are up here on the blue bar. And this is the hot list button, and boom, up pops all my hot listed clients. I can go straight to them by clicking on their name and do what I got to do. Follow them up. Follow up that one, and go to the next one. Follow up that one. Just excellent task management system. They're no longer on the hot list, just click it again. Forecast, I like to get an idea of the total amount of business that is possible with a client. So let's say $2 million is the total amount of business that's possible. And let's say I hope to penetrate that this year 30%. Those two numbers will spin automatically to the forecast sheet. We'll do that in another video and take a look at how you do your forecasts. But if I'll do that with every customer when I'm talking with them, I can then much easier go about doing my forecasts. Last contact date, if I click on the date here, today's date will automatically pop in there. I like to look at a record and know when was the last time I contacted someone. Obviously, if that's 3 or 4 months ago, I need to pick up the phone or at the very least pop them an email. Follow up. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is what a contact database is all about. Let's say I'm talking with someone today and I want to follow them up in 2 weeks. Alright, they're now on my follow-up schedule. It's red. I can go up here to my follow-up button, click on that, and anybody that's on this list here to be followed up today or anytime prior to today that they're still on this list are going to pop up on this list. I can call them right from the list, or I can click on their record and go to them. Still have my database open behind it. Close this, go to the next one. It's an awesome database. Works extremely well. This is just one of about 4 or 5 different ways of following up with your database. Want to remove them from the follow-up list? Just click on follow-up and they're removed. I'm going to list here what I'm going to do when I follow them up. It's a phone call, a text message, an email, whatever the case might be. I always like to vary that up as much as I can. Let's say that I want to talk to somebody and I decided they're worth time and effort to go see. I'm going to climb in my car and drive out and spend some FaceTime. Well, I want to identify everybody I talk to that's worth going to see. That I can do is search for this yes. I'll show you how to do that later. And say at the first of the month, plan my travel schedule for the month. Very handy. Last visit. Put in the last time I visited them. That way when I glance at the record, I'll know when the last time I visited them. If that's months and months and months ago, maybe I need to call in my car and go see them. Yeah, so if it was August of 2012, I need to get in my car and go visit that one. That is, unless, of course, they're a C client. Maybe I don't want to go see them. What market are we in? You know, I want to keep each client in their own separate market. Much easier to track and handle that way on the database. You can search according to that. My business, it's good to know what percentage of equipment is used that they sell. So there's a place to keep track of that here. Do they text message? That's the new form of communication these days, that you want to know if they text message. So that's where I store that information. If it's a customer, then I want to know who referred them. Let's say Barry referred them. Everybody that's a vendor will be listed here. Automatically pull them in, so I know for every customer what vendor it was that referred them. Birthday and anniversary is just a basic tenet of good marketing. If their birthday is coming up, send them a birthday email. Happy birthday. It might sound corny or old, but it still works. In fact, we can go up here to our blue bar and there's a B-Day and anniversary. Click on that and everybody from today and 7 days forward that has an anniversary or birthday will pop up there. Just an awesome database. We can go over here. Work address. See, we have the work address and it pops up on GPS. Social media contact information. You can list all the social media here. Edit or add more, as many as you want here. You put in the address and you can automatically go to it and communicate with your prospect that way. Deal status. I guess you put your home address in here too. If I've got a deal working with somebody, then this is how I track that. All the different stages. We'll talk about that in another video. Marketing, I have my basic marketing philosophy here. Here's where I define what all the A's and double B's mean. You can put any marketing plan you want in there. Just copy and paste. Tasks, I'll put the task in here and follow them up. We'll talk about that later. Survey, 50 questions for every client. Every time you talk to them, just ask them a couple, 3 of these questions. By the time you get all 50 answered, you know them very well. Probably better than your best friend. Alternate contacts, whether it be an admin or a regional manager, a place to keep that information. Just a very well organized, very succinct database. It follows our 2 primary directives, which is the minimum amount of information necessary and very easy and intuitive to use. So our next video will be on your follow-up task lists.